Welcome to the Archive Network. I'm Aurelius, and with me as always, Malik. We curate the Lineage archive. Today we open a new file, House of Tokugawa. Malik, you've had this one on your desk for a while. A single act of betrayal could mean the end of a family line. In 16th century Japan, the stakes were impossibly high. The Matsudaira clan, soon to be known as Tokugawa, faced constant threats from rival clans and internal dissent. Survival demanded not just bravery but cunning, too. We had to navigate a treacherous landscape filled with ambition and violence. Alliances were fragile, and one misstep could lead to disaster. This was a time where power could shift in an instant.
But it wasn't just about survival. It was about identity, too. The Matsudaira were minor daimyo, always at the mercy of the larger warlords. They weren't just fighting for territory. They were battling for their very existence. Each day was a struggle, and the pressure to adapt and endure reshaped their entire lineage. They had to find ways to hold on to their traditions while facing overwhelming odds. It wasn't just land they were protecting. It was who they were as a people.
Okazaki Castle became a powerful symbol of that struggle, standing tall against the chaos of its time. Its deep moats and timber watchtowers were not just defenses. They served as stark reminders of the dangers lurking beyond. Each stone laid in its structure was a statement of intent, a declaration that they wouldn't simply fade away. We can see it clearly. They chose to resist, to fight back against the forces that sought to erase them from history.
But the castle wasn't just a fortress. It was, in many ways, a prison for young Ieyasu. His life as a political hostage was tough, teaching him lessons that would stay with him forever. He learned to read the room, to sense danger, and to hide his true feelings. This wasn't just about survival. It was about growing up under pressure. These experiences shaped him, molding him into the ruler he would become, with a deeper understanding of power and its costs.
A political pawn, yes, but he was also a keen observer. Ieyasu absorbed the courtly intrigues of the Imagawa and Oda, watching, learning. He mastered the fine art of survival. When the Imagawa fell at Okahazama in 1560, everything changed. The chaos that followed opened a door. Opportunities arise in turmoil, and Ieyasu was ready to step through. It's a lesson in history. When others falter, some find their moment to rise.
But let's not overlook the cost of that opportunity. It wasn't just a victory. It was a bloodbath. Ieyasu's freedom came at a heavy price. The chaos that engulfed the land revealed a deeper instability within the clans. Families were torn apart, and countless lives were lost. This wasn't merely a chance. It was a gamble with lives, leaving scars that would linger long after the battles ended. We need to remember the human cost behind those decisions.
A gamble? Perhaps, but a calculated one. Ieyasu understood the necessity of alliances. He didn't just forge bonds. He wove marriages into a complex web of loyalty that would hold his power in place. Each decision was like moving a piece on a chessboard. He knew his rivals were always watching, waiting for a misstep. Every choice had to be precise, deliberate. That's how empires rise and fall, by playing the long game and staying several steps ahead.
But Ieyasu wasn't just building alliances. He was also sowing distrust. His rewards came with strings attached, often leaving those who served him feeling uneasy. Loyalty was always fragile, and betrayal felt like a constant shadow. The very landscape of his power was littered with the bones of those who'd failed to navigate it wisely. Each misstep didn't just cost lives. It shattered families and changed communities forever. It was a brutal game where the stakes were painfully high.
And yet with each passing year, the Matsudaira family, now known as the Tokugawa, grew stronger. They worked tirelessly to restore order across the land and secure vital farmland for future generations. Ieyasu's influence spread like wildfire, reaching into every corner of the realm. But we must remember, the risk was always there. One misstep, One ill-timed decision, and everything could tumble back into chaos, just as it had before. History has a way of repeating itself, doesn't it?
The Battle of Sekigahara in 1600 wasn't just a clash. It marked a profound moment in Japanese history. It erupted with ambition, and the ground shook with thunder as blood spilled across the land. Ieyasu's victory was decisive, but it came at a tremendous cost. Families were torn apart, and the dreams of many were crushed. There were no simple victories in this saga, just the heavy weight of choices that changed the lives of countless people forever.
With that victory, Ieyasu reshaped the landscape of power. Rivals were crushed, and loyal vassals were generously rewarded. The chaos of the Sengoku period began to fade into memory. By 1603, the imperial court in Kyoto named him shogun, a formal recognition of his dominance. This wasn't just a title. It marked the birth of a new era, one where the Tokugawa shogunate would reign for over 2 centuries, establishing the foundations of modern Japan.
But let's remember, shogunate rule wasn't merely about power. It was about governance, and the people who lived under that rule. Ieyasu had to transform military authority into something that could bring lasting order to everyday lives. The real challenges weren't just on the battlefield. They were in the throne rooms of Edo, navigating conflicts, ambitions, and the needs of countless families. The art of rule itself would become the true test of his legacy, shaping the future for generations.
The House of Tokugawa stands at a critical juncture. They've won the right to rule, but that victory is precarious. Power can be as fragile as glass. Ieyasu must now navigate the complexities of governance to secure his legacy. He faces challenges from within and outside, each misstep potentially unraveling what has been achieved. This is a moment where every decision matters. The weight of history rests on his shoulders, and in this game, hesitation can be fatal.
That's where we leave it for now. Part 1 of 5. House of Tokugawa is far from done. If you're new here, we're Aurelius and Malik, curators of the Lineage Archive, part of the Archive Network. Part 2 drops soon.